for this tutorial, you are going to need some yarn. This is Yarniversee's very own yarn. This is called Chocolate Delight. You're also going to need a crochet hook. I always work with a 5mm hook or 6mm hook, but today we're working with 5, and you're going to need a weaving needle. If you're a beginner, you're going to want to use stitch markers, but if you are more advanced, you don't need stitch markers. The first step is you're going to create a chain, and this chain is going to go around your waist. So I'm going to make my chain. Okay, I've made my chain that's long enough to fit around my waist, and now when you are making the chain that goes around your waist, you're going to want to give it a couple extra inches, maybe 1 or 2, depending on how big your butt is, so that you're able to slide the skirt over your butt without ripping the skirt. And if you're having trouble making the skirt starting around your waist, you can start the skirt in reverse and start where the skirt ends and move upwards, so that you're able to add increases and decreases a little bit easier. And now I'm going to connect the top of the string where my hook is to the end of the row. Now you're going to want to make sure that your row isn't twisted. You're going to slip stitch into the top. You're going to turn your work, chain 2, or chain 2 and then turn your work. And for this very first row, you're going to want to do all of your work into the back loops so that you have a flat skirt. Now, working in the back loop, you are going to place 1 double crochet into the first stitch. You're going to chain 1, you're going to skip 1 stitch and go into the next stitch. You're going to place a double crochet into that one. So that is the pattern that you're following. Chain 1, skip 1, place your hook into the next one, then you put a double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. So you're going to follow that all the way around. Get back around, and now I'm going to slip stitch into the very top. The very first stitch, slip stitch. I'm going to chain 2, turn my work. Then you are going to work in the spaces. You are not going to work in the stitches themselves. So you're going to be placing 1 double crochet into every stitch. You're going to go all the way around doing that. Ew. To place a double crochet into every open space. And that's the gist of this skirt that I'm making. So now this piece is really just your waist and like the top of your butt. But if your waist is a lot bigger or if your butt is a lot bigger than your waist, then you are going to want to do increases. And if you don't have that big of a difference from your waist to your butt, you have a smaller butt, then you won't do any increases. So I'm going to do my rows of double crochet, and then when it comes time for me to do an increase, I will come back and show you all how to do an increase. Most of my tutorials are made based off of my size and my measurements. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rows, I believe 11 rows. So now I'm going to show you how I do my increase. Now you're going to go into your open spaces with a double crochet. But once you get to your hip area is where you're going to do the increases. Now there's two ways to get your measurement for where your hips are. You can either fold it in. This is the easiest option. You're going to fold it in and you're going to find the two hips that, you know, line up together. You may want to put 2 stitch markers in here to make sure that when you unfold it, you can remember where it goes. Or the harder one is to count all of your stitches. You're going to divide that number by 2, and the number that you get, you are going to divide that by 2. That second number that you got, you are going to count to it, and you are going to put a increase into that's number stitch. Once you get to that stitch, you are going to count from 1 to that second number that you got, and you're going to put a increase into that hip or that side. In order to do your increase, you are going to go into your stitch with 1 double crochet. You're going to chain 1 and then go into that same stitch with 1 double crochet. You're going to go all the way around till you get to your other increase. My cat dented. Okay, I've made it back around. And again, you're going to do one double crochet into every open space until you get to your increase. I made it back around to my increase. Now you can do as many increases as you need to make your skirt as wide as you need to, as long as it's able to fit your body. Now you're going to follow the same steps of doing 1 double crochet into that stitch, chaining 1, placing another into that stitch. And then you go all the way around until you meet back to your other increase. Once you finish all your rows of increases, then you can just go back to doing no increases, and that just means you place 1 double crochet into every open space, no longer placing 2 into the sides. It's 2. Now that you set your skirt to the side, you're going to make a slip knot. You're going to make a chain of 3. 1, 2, 3. Then you are going to go into that very first stitch. You are going to place 1 half double crochet. You're going to place another half double crochet, You're going to turn your work. You are going to place 2 half double crochets into that first stitch, and then you are going to place 2 half double crochets into the next one, and you're going to continue that pattern for 15 rows. These measurements are for my bust size. I am a small in the bust area, but if you need your bikini top or the top of the dress to be bigger, you can just continue your increases for more rows. So you just chain 1, turn your work, and on your outside stitches you're going to place 2. So 2 here, 1, 2, place 1 here, place 1 here, and you're going to go into, make sure you go into this side stitch, and you're going to place 2 into that. Okay, and then you continue that for 15 rows or 16, 17, no, depending on how big your busts are. So I'm going to continue this for 15 rows, and then I'm going to come back and show you guys one more demonstration before I go. You're just making sure that you go all the way down, placing 1 half double crochet into every stitch except for your ending stitch and your beginning stitch, chaining 1 before you go to your beginning stitch, turning your work, placing 2, and then you just keep going. I don't need it. Once you have made all of your increase rows, you're just going to go in. Once you finish your increase rows, you are going to just go into each stitch with 1 half double crochet for 4 rows. So this is the first one. Why are you moving? So this is row 1. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go all around the perimeter of both sides of the... Now what you're going to do is you're going to slip stitch all the way around the perimeter of the 2 bikinis, connecting them together, and you want to make sure that you start at this peak here so that when you go back around, you make it back to this point and you're able to crochet, make a chain down the middle in order to connect it to your skirt. So I'm going to go into both of them because it makes me happy. Now you're going to connect your 2 bikini tops together, doing a single crochet all the way around, starting at this point in order to meet back at this point so that you can chain all the way down in order to make a chain to connect to your skirt. So I'm going to slip stitch into both sides of the bikini. I'm going to make sure it's snug, tight, and now I'm going to do a single crochet all the way around. Okay, so I made it around and my 2 tops are connected. Sorry. The top is connected, and now we are going to go down and make a chain. Now here's where you want to measure your torso to your, like, you want to measure your like stomach area, your torso, to make sure that you're not making it your chain too long, because then it's just going to be floppy. We want it to be like a tight string going up your stomach. So I'm gonna make a chain. So it connects down the middle. Now you're going to line it up, and you are going to place this. You're going to you are going to now slip stitch. Once you get the length of the chain that you want, you're going to slip stitch this into the middle of the skirt. You can find the middle of the skirt by looking at where your skirt, where you go and connect your ends together, the beginning of your stitch and the end of your stitch in the back, and you could just line it up there, because I don't usually cut off my string as soon as I start, so I have a gauge or a point knowing where I slip stitch in. Now I'm going to slip stitch that into there, and you want to make sure that it's secure, so I'm going to go into that same spot with a slip stitch, another one, and we're going to tie it off. When you're tying this off, you are going to want to slip your end, and you're going to want to leave a long end. Pull your string through. I tend to leave long ends so that I can weave it in to the rest of the work, so that it's not so easily, it doesn't slip out so easily. Now for the strings and the straps, so the neck strap and the back strap, what you're going to do is you're going to create chains on each corner, so each corner of your two triangles, so you'll have 4 strings. So again, you're just going to make that slip stitch into the corner, and you may want to do 2 slip stitches into that same thing just to make it a little more secure. Pull your string tight and create that chain that you want. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this chain can be as long or as short as you want, as long as you're able to connect it around your neck and around your back, so that you have a secure dress. I'm going to come back once I'm done connecting all 4 corners to a strap, and I am going to show you how to weave in your ends, and then you can go to the part 2 video where I show you how to make an undergarment for the skirt. So I'm going to be making a brown like bikini bottom that goes under the skirt, so that your goodies don't show, because the skirt is kind of see-through. Well, not kind of see-through, it's see-through. Okay. Right on, right on, right on. And you know now me. Yeah, yeah, one night. Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah. Okay, I have all of my strings, my neck pieces, my back piece, they're all connected. And now the next step, I have a few loose ends hanging around this project, so we're gonna just weave in these loose ends. If you have a weaving needle, you can use your weaving needle. to weave in your ends. But if you do not have a weaving needle, you can take this crochet hook that you've been crocheting with or something a little smaller, and you can just go in between. You're gonna want to do it on the inside of the skirt though, so it's hidden a little better. You're gonna just go in between your stitches, so these are out. Go in between your stitches, and then you're just gonna pull the loose end through. And that's what weaving is. Now for certain pieces, you're gonna want to weave and then make it like do a little knot in the back of the stitch just to make sure it's secure. Baby, it's a loving night, not at night. You be over here. Downstairs. All right. Alright, Yarniversee students, thank you for sitting into my video today. I hope that you were able to learn something from this video, and if you are able to, follow this pattern and make this outfit, be sure to tag me on Instagram as well as follow me, girl. But if you like this video, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, comment down below any suggestions that you have for me.